The funny thing is sometimes people talk about dropshipping as if when it comes to dropshipping suppliers, you got to go to China, you got to go to Australia, you got to go to foreign countries to actually find the best dropshipping suppliers. And the answer is that the reality here is that you can find U.S. dropshipping suppliers who are really great, who can actually help you economically in terms of making sure you have the right products at the best price. So into this conversation, I really want to talk about that. I want to talk about how do you find US based dropshipping suppliers, because the economics can be in your favor if you are able to find the right suppliers. Okay. And it's totally possible. There are people making millions of dollars in this country every single year. Dropshipping products that are sourced from US dropshipping suppliers. Let me first give you an overview so we are on the same page. The big question is, should you do dropshipping in the United States? I mean, in other words, is it attractive to do dropshipping in the United States? The answer is yes. The answer is definitely yes. You know why? Because when you think about dropshipping from the United States, I want you to consider the benefits that we have in this country. Because everybody talks about cost. Yeah, you probably you can source a product from China and the product is like costing you like 10 cents. Whereas if you source a product from the United States, it will cost you 50 cents or 60 cents. So the economics of the transaction, you might be thinking, are not really in your favor as a dropshipper. Okay. But have you thought about shipping? Have you thought about quality of the products? Have you thought about the time it takes to process the item? If you thought about the customer experience, those are important things, because if your customers are in somewhere in Texas and you are based in California and you're getting orders from China, you got to think about those things. Okay. So when we talk about dropshipping from the US has a lot of benefits when it comes to dropshipping. You have fast shipping options. You have a high GDP per capita. You have a high social network penetration. You have a larger population. Think about it. We are 330 or 340 million people who have the money to spend. Okay. And so you have to think about those things. And so the thing here is that you need to actually find a way to have the best US dropshippers, the US dropshipping suppliers. Make sure that you are actually you are able to look to see if the dropshipper has a link on their website, if they have a short description, if they have a pricing and payment option, if they have a pricing and payment policy that works with you. And so you are able to actually have a better understanding. You can do some research about their reputation. Go on a Trustpilot to read a little bit about them before you actually commit. Now, let me give you a few pro tips. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And we are having a conversation today about how do you find US dropshipping suppliers? And so I'm going to give you a few tips here for finding US dropshipping suppliers. The first thing you need to do here is to view we have videos. We have a gazillion of videos about the best US dropshipping suppliers. Okay, so this is my first tip. Go back and read and watch our videos. If you need help, we'll actually send you the link. Okay, so you have a clear idea about what we believe are the best US dropshipping suppliers. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are trying to find US dropshipping suppliers, use Google. I mean, Google is your friend. Okay, Google is your friend. You can be just go on Google and say, listen, you just type US dropshipping supplier. As simple as that. You might be thinking, well, that's not the best way to source products. Hey, listen, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how deep and broad search results from Google can be sometimes. If you know how to search, of course. I mean, I'm not just asking you to type a very generic term and get the results. No. For example, you can put down U.S. dropshipping suppliers near me, for example. And make sure that you activate the location sharing on your device so you have a clearer understanding. You have a geo-located search, so you are able to know exactly if you have people around you. Now, remember, when we talk about U.S. dropshipping supplier, if you tap that, if you have a generic term like this, you're gonna find the likes of Spocket. You're gonna find the likes of CJ Dropshipping. You're gonna find the likes of Doba. Okay, but the thing is, the more geo specific you are, you will be really surprised that you're going to find you can find some manufacturers who are located like 2 blocks away from you and who are producing products that you might need for your dropshipping store. So what I'm trying to say here is that use Google. Google is really, really important. And but the very first thing you want to do is to watch our videos. I mean, we do have videos about the subject, and we'll be gladly happy to share them with you if you're interested in the subject. But the bottom line here is that if you there is a way to make the economics work in your favor. In other words, to make sure that the terms of the transaction are profitable to you, so you can sustainably maintain a dropshipping business by sourcing products from US based manufacturers. Another thing you can do is to use supplier directories. Okay, if you're trying to find US dropshipping suppliers, use supplier directories. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. What are we talking about? We're speaking about how do you find US dropshipping suppliers, okay? And when we talk about suppliers directories, you need to understand the directories are companies that basically collect the contact details of as many dropshipping suppliers as possible. So they're basically a library where you can find dropshipping suppliers to work with. So, we have actually covered on this show, we have reviewed many dropshipping suppliers. So you have SaleWho, you have Inventory Source, and you have Syncki. Syncki is really great, okay? And so this is really important. So what happens here is that those directories, they want you to create an account. So once you create an account, you are able to get access to their supplier directory, and you will be able to filter based on the location, on the states. Okay, for example, you can say location US, and then you can filter down into the states, the specific states you want to source your products from. So this is really good. You can also use AliExpress if you're trying to actually find US-based dropshipping suppliers. AliExpress could be a great source of information for you. Okay, you have access to all the information you need to be able to make that decision properly. And the cool thing we love about AliExpress is that we love the diversity. Now you might be thinking, well, AliExpress is based in China. Not necessarily. AliExpress, they own warehouses in China, but they also have warehouses in the United States. Okay, so I mean, in this world nowadays, it doesn't really matter where the company's headquarters are. What really matters is what is the breadth and depth of their organizational operation or their logistical operations. Okay, so they do have warehouses in the States, which means that some products are either originally manufactured here, or they are finally the finalization of the manufacturing processes is done here in the States. So you have so you can actually choose. So if you're trying to, let's say you want to find US dropshipping suppliers, use supplier directories, use AliExpress. So that's pretty good. Another way to actually to beef up your research in terms of finding US-based dropshipping suppliers is to use your e-commerce platform's app store. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. What kind of conversation are we having here? We're talking about how to find US dropshipping suppliers. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about your e-commerce platform's app store, you basically, where are you currently at? Are you on Shopify? On your Shopify, are you using Wix dropshipping? Are you doing dropshipping through BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Squarespace? Where are you at? So basically, you can actually use your e-commerce app store to actually find those dropshipping suppliers, those US-based dropshipping suppliers. Okay, and you have. So let me give you an example. If you actually go on Shopify, on the app store, on the app marketplace, if you type US dropshipping supplier in the Shopify app store, you will find players such as Modelist, Dropshipper, and Dropcommerce. Okay, so this is kind of cool. And added benefits of this method is that the dropshipping suppliers you will find will be super easy to connect to your e-commerce store because you already found them through the store. Okay. The next thing you can do here is to use a dropshipping agent. Okay, so you can use the dropshipping agent. Now, if you want to go through the work of finding a suited dropshipping supplier for your business, you can contact a dropshipping agent who will do it for you. Okay, so basically a dropshipping agent is a person who can do various tasks for your dropshipping store. So this include contacting suppliers, sourcing products, storing products in a warehouse, packing the products, shipping the products. Now the thing is, you gotta have the budget for it. I mean, not everybody can actually afford a drop shipping agent, but it depends on the volume of transactions you are contemplating. It depends on the resources you have. If you have a bigger budget, yeah, go ahead and do it. But if you have a smaller budget, then you want to start a little, and gradually scale your business, your dropshipping business down the road. But hey, yeah, so those are the 6 ways of you actually finding US dropshipping suppliers. Now, let me give you an approach that you really need to follow. The formula of success when it comes to picking the best dropshipping supplier for your business. Okay. And this is really important because, I just gave you the source where you can find those suppliers. Now I'm going to help you actually go a little more granular. I'm going to help you actually filter what are the pointers that you need to have in mind. If like the KPIs, right? The key performance indicators that will help you actually choose your US based dropshipping supplier. So think about the location. Think about their fair prices. Think about customer service. Do they have excellent customer service or not? Think about the products, the variety, the constellation, the depth and breadth of the product portfolio. Think about the pricing plans that they have. Are you comfortable with those pricing plans? Okay, very important. Think about the shipping and order processing time. Think about the integration possibilities with your store. So you see, when we talk about your store, this could be on your e-commerce platform or an e-commerce marketplace, right? E-commerce marketplace, speaking about Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and whatnot. E-commerce platform, we're speaking about Shopify, talking about WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Squarespace, okay, Wix, Modellist, whatever it is. Not Modellist, sorry. Wix and others, okay? So Weebly. So do they also offer customized packaging? Those are important things you need to think about, okay? And also another question, which is really important when we talk about US-based dropshipping suppliers. An ancillary question is whether or not you should do dropshipping with multiple suppliers. The answer is it depends. It depends on your resources, okay? It depends on the products you're trying to dropship, because if a dropshipping supplier does not actually cover the full portfolio of products you want to sell, yes, there is an economic, there's an economic opportunity or an economic commitment, an economic obligation. That's the right word I was looking for. An economic obligation for you to find another supplier that will actually provide those products, okay? Because at the end, you want to have a full portfolio, right? So yes, the answer is yes. But again, think about what additional cost, what additional logistical processes this will add onto your business. Here is a bonus for you. If you've been listening to me so far, I really want to reward you. I want to reward your attention, and this is fantastic. So how do you actually pick the right dropshipping supplier from the United States? Okay. And basically, you would have done research, you would have found a lot of players, but the question is, how do you actually nail down, how do you zero in on that particular player, this particular dropshipping supplier? It's really important to actually, based on our experience, we've been doing these things for the last 5 to 10 years now. You want to start with the reputation. It doesn't matter if the supplier has a vast portfolio, if they have a varied portfolio, the products are all nice, the pricing is good. All of this doesn't matter if they have a crappy reputation. You want to start with the reputation. So you want to go on sites such as Triple B. You want to go on Trustpilot. You want to go on. You can go on your e-commerce apps. So if you go on Shopify, for example, you want to tap the dropshipping supplier. If they have a Shopify app, you want to read customer reviews. You want to do some Google search. So you want to collect as much intel about this dropshipping supplier as possible. If they're based in the United States, they need to have They need to have an address. So you need to contact the company itself. Again, the second thing is you need to contact the company directly. Call them, give them a call. And don't be surprised if the dropshipping supplier if they don't have a website, that's fine. A lot of manufacturers, they don't really have, they don't have time for this kind of stuff. They're just, like usually they're dealing with the B2B, so they don't care about having a website. Sometimes the website is just a lot better if you're having a B2C business model. So you're selling to consumers. That's why you need to have a website. You need to have a blog whereby you actually share information about your products and services. But if you are just selling to businesses, a lot of time you don't care about having a website. So don't be surprised if some of those players some of those dropshippers, those dropshipping suppliers, don't have a website. That's okay. But one thing you want to do here, you want to contact them. You want to locate their manufacturing facility on Google. Okay, and you want to really have an idea of their manufacturing facilities. Okay, and you also want to think about the pricing. You want to think about the product portfolio, like the depth and the breadth of their catalog. Okay, you want to also ask if they have any specific features that are crucial for you. You need to think about whether the dropshipper has a integration to the e-commerce platform you are using, and you want to see if they actually are fitting your budget. Okay, and you want to check if any of the niche suppliers correspond to the niche of your store. So you do have to go granular here. So granularity is key. Okay, so when we talk about you choosing the right dropshipping supplier from the United States, pricing is not the only criterion. Okay, you have to think about customer service. Do they offer 24/7 customer support? And how quickly can they ship? How quickly can they process shipment? How can they process orders? And how quickly can they ship them? So those are important elements that you need to take into account when choosing a US-based dropshipping supplier. Let me close today's conversation by giving you let me give you a review here. I'm going to quickly give you a list of the best general US dropshipping suppliers, and those suppliers we actually will cover them on another show more extensively. But here I just want to give you a list, okay, so you have a clear idea. So we have Spacket. So Spacket is kind of cool because they actually have high quality products. The company has been around for 5 years now, and they are located in Vancouver, British Columbia, that's Canada. But they're actually on Triple B, and like if they're in Canada, there's like in the States, right? That's kind of close to the States, so pretty cool. You have Silhu. So Silhu is one of the largest wholesale dropshippers databases in the whole world. So you can find wholesale suppliers from around the world, including the United States. So this is really good now. Silhu is a company from New Zealand, but remember that because they're based in New Zealand, some of their dropshipping suppliers are not US dropshipping suppliers. So please be sure that you actually filter by US. Okay. You have a Wholesale to Be, another all-in-one dropshipping solution, fantastic. And so so they're based in the States. You actually have Dropified. Dropified is a dropshipping solution that can automate the daily tasks of your business. So this is kind of cool. And you also have Brands Gateway, and so actually they're one of the best dropshipping experts out there. You have a Dropcommerce. Dropcommerce can help you actually find US-based dropshipping suppliers. You have Ali Dropship. It's a great place to kickstart your dropshipping business. You can find US dropshipping suppliers there. You have Sunrise Wholesale. It's one of the oldest US wholesale dropshipping suppliers. Okay, and so this platform, Sunrise, is really great because they actually offer more than 30,000 products from over 20 different niches. You also have Worldwide Brands. So Worldwide Brands is based in Florida. So they actually, we have covered them also in our shows. Fantastic company. They actually have more than 16 to 20 million products in every category. You have Doba. So Doba actually provides a detailed directory of manufacturers and wholesalers while offering an interface for simply grabbing the products you want without partnering with multiple dropshippers. Okay, fantastic. You also have Inventory Source. Inventory Source is really great. They are great when it comes to integration and automation. We love them a lot. You also have a Fulfilled Bot. Okay, they are a dropshipping and sourcing agent, so they will help you find US dropshipping suppliers. And so yeah, I just give you a long list of not a long list, but a quick list of dropshipping suppliers who are either based in the States or who can help you find US based dropshipping suppliers. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I explained to you how to find US based dropshipping suppliers, okay? And I give you an overview, give you a few pro tips, the approach you need to follow, the bonus you need to actually have in mind, and the review. So give you a few players that you need to think about. So overall, if you have questions, okay, please always feel free to drop them below. We'll certainly answer you. We'll actually do our best to give you the best information. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.